Help me meal prep for the week as a mom of 4. My kids have been begging for cinnamon rolls as a breakfast option, so I tried my hand at some simple ones using Hawaiian rolls, and these were so good. It's literally Hawaiian rolls with a mixture of butter, brown sugar, and cinnamon in the middle, then a little of the extra mixture on top before you bake. Then we covered the top with homemade cream cheese icing, and they were so good. Store them in the fridge and heat them up when you're ready for one, and they've kept really well, probably thanks to the preservatives in those Hawaiian rolls. Definitely giving these a 10 out of 10, and we'll be making them frequently. Next, I was on to our weekly Uncrustables, and this week it was turkey and cheese. I've shared this before, but the secret to doing lunch meat and Uncrustables and getting a tight seal is putting a little bit of cream cheese on each piece of bread, then make sure your toppings are only in the middle of the bread so when you put it in the Uncrustable maker, it gets a tight seal. These are a family favorite. My husband and I like them as well, and for these, we actually keep them in the fridge instead of the freezer. And as you make your Uncrustables, of course, keep the crust because we're going to use it in the next recipe. We put these in an airtight container in the fridge, and they keep really well for several days. Although I'm not going to lie, they never last that long in my house. Next, I want to try the chicken pot pie crust cups again. This is my second time making them, and this time we added some egg to bind things, and they turned out much better. It's cut up crust with some eggs and celery seed, then some finely shredded chicken, frozen vegetables, and cream of chicken soup. This got a good stir, and then I put them into these little loaf pans. Typically, I do this in muffin tins, but I just decided to switch it up this week, and it worked great. Now on to some meal prep for my husband and I. We love keeping these brown sugar espresso shots in our fridge. In these small bottles, we put half a teaspoon of brown sugar, then add 2 shots of espresso, and you can keep these in the fridge to pour over ice anytime you want to pick me up. These are also really good blended with some milk to make a frappuccino. Next, we are on to some frozen treats. I switched up our chocolate peanut butter rice cakes. This time I crumbled up the rice cakes and poured in some peanut butter and hemp seeds. Then I scooped it into this silicone mold and poured over top some melted dark chocolate with coconut oil. Last, we finished it with some flaky salt, put these in the freezer, and they were ready to go. These went so fast that I had to make some more really quickly. And pretty much every week, I try to make some sort of protein-filled breakfast. This week, it was some egg wraps that are my oldest son and my husband's favorite. Whisk up some eggs with some milk and put them on a baking sheet and pop those in the oven. Once they come out, you're going to cut them into rectangles so they're ready to be put in the wraps. Probably one of my favorite new kitchen tools is this wrap maker. You just lay it on top of your tortilla. It helps you cut the corners out so you don't have a bunch of extra tortilla. And if you fill the center, it's perfectly filled and ready to go. Inside, I put a layer of cheese, the egg, and some bacon. Then we folded it up and these go in the freezer. You can heat these in a pan on the stove or in the air fryer or microwave. Then I cut up those extra little pieces of tortillas and put them in a pan to make little croutons to go on our salads this week. Last was just some veggies and hummus, so I sliced up some cucumbers with my favorite kitchen scissors and filled up my favorite stainless steel snack containers with carrots and cucumbers and a good-sized scoop of hummus. Now we're set with some breakfast, lunches, and snacks for the entire week. Enjoy!